So before I show you what I eat in a day, I want to show you how much I weigh. All right, there's a bar right there. So right now I am 178.4. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm 178.4. Let's assume that the camera weighs about 1 pound, give or take. So 177.4, and this is my morning weight. Okay, and I say morning very loosely because it's 4 p.m., but basically this is how much I weigh when I haven't eaten anything yet for the day. That being said, let's go ahead and get some food in my stomach before I pass out. So I know you're probably wondering why I'm eating breakfast at 4 o'clock p.m. And that is a multifaceted answer. Okay, first of all, I sleep in every day, so it's not uncommon for me to eat breakfast after 2 p.m. However, today in particular, I'm eating breakfast later because I spent the majority of my morning, and I say morning, I woke up at 1 p.m., but I spent the first part of my day filming a morning routine. So if you haven't seen that video yet, if I haven't posted it yet, then be on the lookout for that because it'll probably come out either tomorrow or the day after if, like I said, I haven't already posted it. But for breakfast, I eat the same exact thing every single day. The same exact thing. Little to no variation. And of course, it includes the newest iteration of the Built Different oatmeal. Okay, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you're about to find out. Alright, so these are all of the ingredients which comprise the Built Different breakfast. Now I know what you're thinking. Jordan, there is no way in hell that you're gonna eat all of this food. And you're right, I'm not gonna eat all of this food, but I'm going to use all of this food to create the breakfast that I'm going to eat. Now, I just want to say this, before I go any further in the video, if you're looking for a specific breakdown of macros, I eat 3,218 calories and 152.6 grams of protein a day, this is not the video for you. I do not do that shit, bro. Me personally, I don't do that anymore. I just create rough estimates in my head of how much protein I'm getting, and given that I'm a vegan and most of the food that I eat is calorically dilute, meaning that there really isn't that many calories in any given food item that I eat, as well as protein. There's not much protein in anything that I eat. I know that if I get a certain amount of protein, I'm in a caloric surplus by default. It's one of the benefits of being vegan that I would say. But that being said, breakfast is the one meal where I do know exactly how much protein I'm getting. This right here is going to constitute about 33% of the protein for the day, if not more. Okay, this is about a third of my daily protein intake. I eat 3 meals per day, this being the first one. Now, this meal right here is going to come out to, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you after I finish the meal, but first of all, let me show you how to make the Built Different protein shake. All right, so look, check this out. Let me move all of this out the way. Hopefully you can see this because I'm not reshooting this, but I'm gonna get you any sort of bottle. All right, get you a bottle and some water. You're gonna fill up the bottle with water. Some people might use milk, and if you're vegan, you might use soy milk or rice milk or something like that, something with more protein. I like using water because for me personally, it's just easier to consume. And my thing with bulking is you wanna get the most bang for your buck. And what I mean by that is you wanna get the most protein without overstuffing yourself with food. Okay, you don't wanna be full to the extent that you feel sick at the end of the day. Me personally, I eat an amount that makes me feel comfortable and I still get enough protein. Evidently so, okay, because I'm pushing 180. A few months ago, I was 165 at my best. Now, that being said, this is the protein that I personally use. You don't have to use this one, but this one has 20 grams of protein. And it also has greens, organic protein and greens. The only reason why I get the one with greens is because, it's not because my last name is Green, but it's because it's cheaper. It's $1 cheaper and you get the same amount of protein in terms of the per serving protein as well as the overall protein as the other ones from the same brand. Don't know why that is. Maybe it just doesn't taste as good, but I don't really care about the taste of this, okay? It tastes fine to me. So we're gonna put 1 scoop of this protein powder in here. This is 20 grams of protein. And then on top of that, let me give you the secret sauce, all right? Creatine. Shh. don't tell anybody about this, okay? Don't tell anybody about this right here. This right here, okay, I could take this right here. Look, let me show you. I could take this creatine right here and I could bag this up and I could sell this to the rich kids in the next town over, okay? And I could get some bank, but we're not doing that. We're using this to get gains. So look, creatine, I'm probably gonna make a whole separate video on my experience with taking creatine, but just know that this is the second tub that I've bought. So this stuff is official, okay? This stuff actually works. But like I said, I'm gonna make a whole video about my experience taking creatine and how that's helped me put on weight, etc. But basically I'm gonna take this right here. So this is 5 grams of creatine. This is a daily serving right here. I'm gonna put this in the protein shake with the protein powder. Okay, it looks like cocaine going in there. Like I said, I could take this, bag this up, and sell it to some rich kids and they wouldn't know the difference. But in a sense, this is kind of like cocaine. This is like cocaine for people who work out. If you know, you know. But I'm gonna take this right here. We got the protein powder and the creatine, and we're just gonna shake it up manually. All right, some people use a blender or whatever. To me, this is an extra workout. This is a pump, especially since I don't get that pump the other way, okay? After all, we are on day, what is it, 8? Day 8 of NoFap? So you gotta get the pump somehow. This is how I do it. But once I finish that, once I finish making the protein shake, then I'm going to make the Built Different oatmeal. Now look, okay, once I show you how to make this, you can't tell anybody about this, all right? You can't reveal this recipe to anybody. If you do, I'm gonna pull up to your house, all right? And then you'll find out what I'm gonna do after that. But for the Built Different oatmeal, this right here is all we're gonna need. All right, now, you might remember that I used to use water for my oatmeal. Now I use milk, and in particular, I use vanilla soy milk. Now look, let me just say this, all right? I already know that you're commenting this right now, all right? So you can save the comment. Matter of fact, go ahead and comment it anyways. It helps the engagement, helps promote the video. But all jokes aside, a lot of people are afraid of soy. A lot of men in particular are afraid of consuming soy because they've been led to believe that soy will basically make you wake up with female parts one day. And that's not how it works. All right, you would need to consume probably 2 of these right here per day in order for you to see any sort of adverse effects. Of course, unless you're allergic to soy or anything like that. But look, don't run away from soy. Don't avoid soy, especially as a vegan, because as you may or may not know, not all protein is complete protein. And for vegans, it can be excessively difficult to find complete protein, which is protein that contains all 9 essential amino acids. Soy is a complete protein. So you want to use soy, all right? Try to use soy whenever you can because it is a complete protein. Again, you don't want to overdo it, just like you don't want to overdo eating apples because apple seeds have cyanide. But I could probably eat all of these apples right here in one sitting and I'll be perfectly fine. I'll still be straight. In the same way, I could probably drink this whole thing and be fine, all right? Stop being afraid of soy. Stop being afraid of food. That's a whole different conversation for a whole different day. But let me show you how to make the Built Different oatmeal. All right, look, so check it out. So we're gonna get a measuring cup. This is the only meal that I measure out. This is the only meal that I measure out because with oatmeal, you gotta get the ratios right or the texture will be off. So look, check this out. You're gonna do 1 cup of oats. All right, 1 cup. You can do a little more if you want, but don't do less than 1 cup. Do 1 cup of oats. Might do a little more right there. All right, 1 cup. As you can see, that's 1 cup. And I personally like the old-fashioned oats, the bigger ones. You use whichever ones work for you, but these are the ones I prefer. So I'm gonna take that and you're gonna pour it into a bowl. And then you're gonna take the vanilla soy milk. You can use regular soy milk if you want, or chocolate, whatever you want, but I like the vanilla. This has 6 grams of protein per cup. So we're gonna shake this up a little bit. And then, if I can get this open, we're going to do a cup of the vanilla soy milk. Right? When I tell you this is a bust down, don't even take my word for it. Just try it for yourself. So look, I'm gonna get about a cup of the vanilla soy milk. I think that's about a cup, give or take. And you're gonna pour it into the oats. You put this back in the fridge before it spoils though. You're gonna pour this into the bowl with the oats. All right, so this right here is how it looks. Now, some people might eat it straight like this. I'm not one of those people, okay? That's what is that, bro? That's caveman activity right there. I'm not on that type of time. All right, so once you do that, you're gonna take this bowl right here. You're going to insert it into the microwave. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Jordan, the microwave? What do you mean? You always said that anybody who eats microwave oats is not a man and all of these different things. And that's true. But what is it that Muhammad Ali said? If I'm still thinking the same thing at 50 that I thought at 20, then I've wasted 30 years of my life. The same is true in this instance, okay? I've been enlightened. I am now aware of the efficiency and the potential that is microwave oatmeal, especially when you do the milk. That's another reason why I use the microwave, is because I don't know if you could really boil soy milk on the stove. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but personally, I'm not gonna try and find out. So I'm gonna put a little cover on it so that it doesn't explode all over the microwave or anything like that. Now look, this is very important, all right? You need to, as a matter of fact, you need to look very, very close in here. Or you need to pay very close attention. Very, very close attention to what I'm about to do. Time cook, 2:30. Not 2:31, not 2:29, 2:30. Start. Now, while that's cooking, let me show you something, all right? While that's cooking, you see that toaster right there? You're gonna take this bread, brood. Take the brood. All right, my Dutch people know what's up. You're gonna take this bread right here. I use the Dave's Killer bread. This has 5 grams of protein per piece of bread. You're gonna do 2 pieces in the toaster, like that. Boom. All right, get that going. Again, we're all about efficiency, so we're cooking that up, we're cooking the oats at the same time. So while those are cooking, you're going to get you some fruit, some fruit, all right? Aardbeien, I don't know how you say blueberries in Dutch, or blackberries, but blauwe fruit and zwarte fruit. I don't know if I said that right, but anyways, you're gonna get some fruit, some berries in particular. Get you some strawberries. I like to use about 6 strawberries. All right, I kind of have this down to a science. It's not even a science. It's an art at this point. This is an art. Art from the heart. So you're gonna get you some strawberries, get you some blackberries. Always check for mold, especially with blackberries. All right, these blackberries. What the hell is that at the bottom of this berry, bro? What is that? What is that? Boy, that's a whole tree. I'm not eating that. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm not eating that personally. That's for the birds. So, gonna get the blackberries, and those look good. Then we're gonna get some blueberries, about a handful of blueberries. All right, boom. So you see this right here? We're gonna take it. This is very important. Very, very important. You're gonna take this, you're going to wash it. All right, wash your fruit. Always wash your fruit before you eat it. All right, so you're gonna get you a knife. All right, get a knife, butter knife, because safety first. All right, safety first. Quit playing with me. So you're gonna cut the strawberries like so. Okay. As a matter of fact, hold on. You're not looking closely enough. I don't think you're really seeing the technique here. You're probably wondering why I'm moving so frantically. I'm hungry as hell, bro. That's why. It's 4 o'clock p.m. As a matter of fact, it's 4:20 now. I am very, very hungry. And I need to eat breakfast. I need to eat breakfast. Also, today is leg day for me. And I might show a little bit of that depending on how I'm feeling around that time. Either way, I'm going to show a full leg day sometime in the near future. Probably in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. But let's go ahead and finish chopping these strawberries. Now, let's go ahead and zoom back out so you can see how it's all going to come together. All right, this is, again, an art and a science, and I've mastered both. Get your bowl out of the microwave. This bowl is hot as hell. Okay, hopefully you can see that. All right, you're gonna take the berries, boom. And then you're gonna take the other berries, and let me show you. Boom. All right, quit playing with me. So this right here is the Built Different oatmeal. So now, for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, all right, let me put you on game real quick. You see how this bread is golden brown? That's how you want it to look. All right, I've mastered the art of toasting. I don't know what the verb would be for that, but personally, I like using raspberry reserves. I don't know what brand this is, but this is the jelly that I personally use. It really doesn't matter which jelly you use though, because truthfully, jelly has next to no nutritional value whatsoever. But let's go ahead and spread the jelly on there. All right, if you hoop, you might remember Jelly Fam. All right, I know I just unlocked the memory in somebody, bro. I know I just unlocked the memory of you trying to do those crazy ass layups at the park. All right, I know all about that, best believe. But go ahead and spread the jelly on the toast, like so. This is an art, all right? I'm a painter, and this is my canvas. This is my canvas right here. Make sure that the proportions are completely and utterly unfuckwittable. So once you get the jelly on the toast, now you're gonna get the peanut butter on the toast. I still use extra crunchy peanut butter, and I don't foresee a time when I won't be using crunchy peanut butter. I don't know, I feel like creamy peanut butter just triggers my gag reflex. It's like baby food or something, bro, I don't know. But let's go ahead and, watch out, bro. I'm trying to show them how to spread the peanut butter. All right, so we're gonna use, I just assume this is 2 tablespoons, give or take, about 2 servings or 1 serving, which will be 7 grams of protein. I'm gonna tell you the macros here in a second. But first, let's finish spreading this voluptuous, and I don't know another word, but this tasty, I'm hungry, bro. I'm hungry. I can't even think straight. And voila. Okay, we have the Built Different breakfast. Now, this sandwich right here, this is 17 grams of protein. You have 5 grams per piece of bread, so that's 10, plus 7 for the peanut butter, 17. The oatmeal is 12 grams of protein. You have 6 from the oats, and then 6 from the soy milk. So 12 grams, 17, that's 29. Is it? No. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, that's 29. I dropped out of school. All right, and then this right here is 20. This is 20. So this right here brings it up to 49 grams of protein for breakfast. So me personally, I aim for about 140 grams of protein per day, give or take. That's my minimum. So science says that you only need 0.64 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Bodybuilders say you need at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And a while back, I just kind of split it down the middle and decided to do 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And at a body weight of 175, that meant that I needed to get 140 grams of protein. So I kind of just stick with that, even though I've put on some weight. Some of that is water weight from the creatine. But the point that I'm making is that's about how much protein I get, and I'm not just completely and utterly militant about how much protein I'm getting. As long as I'm getting that 140 minimum, I'm good. I know that I'm good, and science backs me up on that. But I also want to give you a little pro tip, all right? What's she doing? Hold on real quick. She's trying to hijack my video. She wants to show us she eats in a day too. And she's out here on that bulk and grind too. Anyways, like I was saying, 140 grams of protein is what I typically aim for because that served me well. Like I said, I've put on around 25 pounds of muscle in the last year and a half. July of last year, I was 155. Now I'm pushing 180. So it's definitely worked. And I haven't been fully consistent throughout that time as well. As a matter of fact, if you remember the last What I Eat in a Day video, I think I was still living in my car when I did that. And you might remember, bro, I was eating some bullshit. I'm gonna keep it real. But I was making the best out of my situation and I was still getting the protein. So no excuses, bro. If I could do it when I was living in a car, you can do it from the comfort of your home. But This right here is my breakfast, and I just want to give you a little pro tip, all right? When it comes to eating big meals, if you don't have a really big appetite, use bigger utensils so that you take bigger bites, and it'll trick your mind into thinking that you're not eating as much. At least that's how it works for me. I don't know if that'll work for you, but that works for me personally. And this is what we're working with, bro. 49 grams of protein to start the day. This is my pre-workout meal. You love to see it. All right, so as you can see, I am smashing this breakfast right now. I always eat the sandwich first, then the oatmeal, then the protein shake. But I almost forgot to mention, these are the vitamins that I take. All right, these are the supplements or nutrients, whatever you want to call them, that I currently take. So I take these gummy vitamins right here, and emphasis on gummy, okay? Because as a grown man, I feel like I love gummy vitamins even more than I did when I was a kid, and I love them shamelessly. Okay, so I take 2 of these with breakfast, and then I take this vegan iron supplement. Now this is important because I have that thing, I don't really know what you would call it, where when I stand up too fast, I kind of just lose my vision, and I also lose my life for about a split second. My soul leaves my body. This helps me avoid that feeling, and it definitely works. So if you have that same issue, definitely look into taking a vegan iron supplement. And before anybody says, hold on real quick, hold on, let me just address this right now. Before anybody says that that's only happening because I'm vegan, this has been the case since I was a kid. As a matter of fact, a few vlogs ago, I talked about how I went to the doctor and they told me that I had a heart murmur and I had to go get all these tests done and everything. The reason why I went to the doctor in the first place was because I was dealing with that. I was dealing with the whole standing up and being dizzy thing and losing my vision. So I did not start experiencing that once I went vegan. All right, I went vegan 3 years after that. It didn't make it worse, didn't make it better, but these right here, these supplements, these iron supplements definitely make it better. And then these right here, the capsules, well, I'll talk more about those in a future video. Be on the lookout for that. That being said, I want to give a big shout out to my boy, Unordinary Boy, for getting the first comment on today's video. My guy, congratulations, you did it. Alright, you had a lot of competition, but you prevailed. Let's see if he can go back to back though. Anybody can do it once. Let's see if he can go back to back like Drake did. Also, it probably goes without saying at this point, but I do drink a gallon of water every single day. Been doing this since I was 18 years old. Hasn't failed me yet. Stay hydrated, bro. Get a gallon of water every day. It'll change your life. So, as you may or may not know, I like to read while I'm working out. And the reason why is because in the same way that I like to feed my body healthy food, I like to feed my mind healthy thoughts. That being said, here's some food for thought for you. Okay, this is something that I read in Reality Transurfing. That's the book that I'm currently reading. Big ass book, but packed with value thus far. One thing you must avoid doing is creating an image that is a copy of someone else you believe already has the qualities you wish to embody. In other words, you're simply built different. Now, I talk about being built different quite often on this channel, especially in videos like this one, where I showcase the built different breakfast and the built different oatmeal. But at the end of every video, I always have the little black screen with the words built different. And there's a reason for that. Okay, the main reason why my brand is predicated on the idea of being built different is because I believe that this is the way self-improvement should be done. I believe that if you're going to do self-improvement, you should do it in such a way that you're being yourself first and foremost. A lot of people, they focus on the improvement or development aspect of self-improvement / self-development, but they completely neglect the self part. And because of that, they become the best version of somebody else rather than being the best version of themselves. And in all actuality, they can't be the best version of someone else. You can only be a B-grade version of somebody else. Your superpower in life is your uniqueness, your ability to be yourself and to be the best version of you that you can be. In other words, we all have people that we look up to and that we maybe even idolize to an extent. Never allow that to diminish your sense of self. Never allow that to diminish your personal perception of who you are, beyond just your personality, but who you are at your essence. Now look, I'm giving you all of this game and all that. I'm hungry as hell, alright? It is 10:10. Let me show you. It is 10:10 p.m. and I am about to eat lunch. Okay, so that being said, this right here is my lunch. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Jordan, that's a whole lot of food. And it is, okay? It is a lot of food, but at the same time, my body has adapted to this. And I would have shown you the preparation process, but for one, I'm not the one who cooked this. My mom's the one who cooked it. And also, my mom is downstairs sleeping, and rightfully so, because again, she's the one that cooked this. And the way that my mom usually does it is, since she works and she doesn't want to come home and cook every day, she cooks all of the meals on Sunday. So throughout the week, I pretty much get to choose whatever I want to eat on a day-to-day basis. But generally speaking, I try to stick to the meals, that is, that have the highest amount of protein. I don't know about you, okay, but just by eyeballing this, you can see how big this bowl is right here, all right? It's bigger than my hand. And this is filled with quinoa as the base. Okay, there's a lot of quinoa in there. And then I have black beans right here. Okay, a whole lot of black beans. This looks like about 40 grams of protein to me. I could be wrong, and I often am wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong about that. Okay, this looks like a minimum of 40 grams of protein to me. And in addition to that, I also have my protein shake. I made this the exact same way that I made the one this morning, with the exception of the creatine. I only put creatine in the morning protein shake, not the lunch protein shake. But in addition to the quinoa and the beans, okay, that's where most of the protein content comes from. I also have carrots. Okay, my mom, I don't know if she roasted these or baked these or what, but carrots. I also have some pico, which is basically just chopped tomatoes, corn, onions, etc. But I actually have a little story, okay? When I was living in my apartment, I learned how to cook because I realized about a week in that I don't think I could afford to eat out every single day. Okay, that shit will run your pockets dry, no matter how much you're making. That being said, this was one of the first meals that I learned how to cook. I'm going to show you the other meal that I learned how to cook later on, but this is one of the first meals that I learned how to cook. And the reason why I remember this so vividly, aside from the fact that it took me about 3 hours to make this, was there was one time when I created my meals for the whole entire week, which basically it was just this meal right here. All right, so I made about 5 days worth of this that I could eat for dinner every day. And I fell asleep and I forgot to put it in the refrigerator overnight. And I didn't think anything of it. And when I woke up that next morning, I saw the bowls sitting out there, the meal prep bowls, and I told myself, I spent 3 hours making this shit, bro. I'm gonna eat it. I don't care if it's been out all night, all day, it doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna eat it. Big, catastrophic, cataclysmic mistake. Alright, that whole next week after I ate that first bowl, I was probably the sickest that I've been in about 10 years. Okay, I'm talking about I was bedridden, bro. I was sitting there watching the Kanye Genius documentary, suffering, bro. I was suffering. Every time I woke up, I'm talking about I had sweated so much. I don't know if sweated is grammatically correct, but I was sweating so much while I slept that it felt like I had literally jumped in the pool, got out of the pool without drying off, and then went to bed right after. Okay, I'm talking about I was drenched. It was gross. It was disgusting. And I suffered for the whole entire week with whatever type of bacterial infection that I had. I don't know what happened to this day. I just know that it definitely has something to do with me eating this after it had been out all night. But now I don't really have to worry about that because I'm not the one cooking, okay? After that, I don't think I ever cooked it again. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think after that, I just went straight to oven food. And thankfully, I never messed that up. I don't think it's even possible to mess that up. Maybe it is. I don't really have the best track record with cooking. But anyways, I'm about to go ahead and crush this bowl. It is 10:14 p.m. right now, and I am dying. I can feel my inner organs deteriorating as I speak. But again, 40 grams of protein, give or take. This could be 50, but we'll just say 40 for now. And then this is another 20. Same protein powder, same exact formula, just without the creatine. So that's 60 grams for lunch. 60 grams of protein for lunch, which I'm no mathematician, but that sounds like 109 grams of protein for the day thus far. All right, so this right here is my dinner. Okay, it is 11:52 p.m. Central U.S. time. And this is my dinner. Now this is the other meal that I learned how to cook when I was living on my own. This is adobo, alright? If you're Filipino, you know about this. Granted, it's not actually meat, it's Beyond Meat or some variation of Beyond Meat, but you get the idea, okay? This is adobo. It has the vegan meat, it has the little onions, the white onions, and some potatoes, and then my mom also made these potatoes right here. So I just got these. Usually you would eat adobo with rice, but I just decided to get the potatoes because they're more filling, they're more tasty in my opinion, and they have more protein. That being said, this meal right here probably has around 30 to 35 grams of protein, I would say. 30 to 35 grams. We'll say 35 because the potatoes definitely add more protein to the equation. So about 35 grams of protein. Now look, let me just say this, all right? Let me go ahead and just say this before somebody kills themselves trying to eat as much food as I'm eating. I am used to eating this much food. I am accustomed to eating this much food. I didn't just wake up one day and start eating this much right here per meal. That's not how it worked. Okay, I had to gradually build my way up. Now, once again, I don't count my macros. I don't know how many calories I'm consuming, but I think it's fair to assume that I'm getting over 3,000 calories a day. And that would be, for me, a caloric surplus. And the reason why I know this is because I'm gaining weight. Even before I started taking creatine, I was already putting on weight at a pretty consistent rate. So I'm saying this to say that whatever weight you are, you need to take that into consideration when you're mapping out your diet. And the most important thing when it comes to bulking or cutting, okay, if you're maybe trying to lose weight, is finding and creating a diet that you know that you personally can stick with. All right, all of the food that you've seen me eat today, including this meal right here, all of it is food that I enjoy eating. If I didn't enjoy eating this food, believe me, you would not have seen it in the video, because I am not the type of person who will eat food that I do not like just to reach a certain calorie count or protein count, because once again, I don't count these things. I just eyeball it, and to that point, like I said, this is about 35, and I think I was at 109. So 109 plus 35 is what? 144. So boom, I already hit my 140 for the day. If I don't hit the 140 grams of protein from just my 3 meals, and I do eat 3 meals a day, but if I don't hit the 140 grams of protein from those 3 meals, then I will have a snack. And that snack is pretty much always the same thing. I get some Cheerios, about 3 cups of Cheerios. I know it sounds like a lot, but really that's just one medium-sized bowl of Cheerios. I get about 1.5 cups of vegan soy milk. I don't know why I said vegan. Soy milk is vegan, but you get the idea, okay? 1.5 cups of the vegan soy milk, except not the vanilla one. I get the plain one because the vanilla one has 6 grams of protein per cup, whereas the plain one has 8 grams of protein per cup. So the soy milk, 1.5 cups of that is 12 grams of protein, and then the Cheerios, 3 cups of that is, I believe, 15 grams of protein. It's about 27 grams of protein, give or take, for that whole bowl. I also put some honey on top, and I know honey isn't vegan, but I want you to look at me very, very closely when I say this. I don't care.